Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. This is your host Ram, the cricket show live with you on a Sunday. To start with some sad news coming out of India. As you know, India has been heavily hit by this pandemic COVID. A cricketer by the name Chetan Chauhan. Now, many of the people wouldn't know Chetan Chauhan. I mean, I know because probably they would have not even seen him. But so unfortunately, Chetan Chauhan has passed away due to COVID-19. He passed away at the age of 73. And just talking about Chetan Chauhan was he was born in 1947. An opening partner, former, I mean, he's a cricket commentator, as we all know. Now, Chetan Chauhan formed a formidable Gavaskar and Chetan Chauhan forged. They are the second most opening century partnership. What really comes to mind is that gritty batsman that he was. I mean, he was a very, very brave player. I have seen him brave the pace of Jeff Thompson and Dennis Lillee in their prime on an absolutely juicy pitch at the WACA, at the SCG Melbourne, and he has copped a lot of body blows. I mean, I would probably say he was someone like either Jeffrey Boycott or Brian Close, who actually took a lot of body blows when they were facing the West Indies. So it's a similar thing which has happened to Chetan Chauhan as well. So I remember him for that he was a very, very, very gritty opener. But a sad part was that if you look at his statistics, he was one look at his career stats, which will definitely 2084. He scored 2084 runs, and also his batting average was 31.57. He was not a typical one-day player basically, because he was more in the defensive mode. Customer. And as an opener, what you need is someone who can stand at the crease. And that was that's something Chetan Chauhan was able to do. At the other end, we know that Sunny Gavaskar was the one who was actually grinding the runs for India. But a player, but he still 153. I mean, he made 153 runs in ODIs. He did not play a lot of ODIs, I'm sure about that. And his top score was 97. He scored 97 was his highest. He came close, which eluded him, and he never got to the magical mark. What a sad thing. I mean, he played, I'm just going to try to see as to how many tests he played 40 test matches. And in 40 test matches, he could not eke out a century. I think he was out twice or thrice in the 90s, once or twice in the 80s, and he never, ever, but he got 16 50s. In his entire career. And as I said, and one thing that one would remember Chetan Chauhan is another thing is that one would remember that I don't remember the exact stadium. It happened in Australia where Sunny Gavaskar was given LBW to the pacer Dennis Lillee, and he called his opening partner. He was not happy with the decisions. He had a few words with Dennis Lillee. And then Sunny Gavaskar told his opening partner, Chetan Chauhan, he went and pulled his hand and told him, let's march and let's give up, something like that. They wanted to act disagreeing with the decision. Sunny Gavaskar grabbed Chetan Chauhan and told him to walk towards the pavilion. That is one incident that I remember about Chetan Chauhan. But as I said, Chetan Chauhan mainly was a very, very gritty player. And he was not a very, as I said, he was not someone that people would have like it's sort of a treat to watch such a batsman. But what was very important was he was a very gritty customer at the crease as an opener, but never ever got a test century. So his name, Chetan Chauhan, has breathed his last at the age of 73, unfortunately, and the pandemic COVID-19 has claimed him. Very sad. I wish. Wish he and his family well, and our condolences to the Chetan Chauhan's family members. Well, so from here, we get into the real cricket. And yesterday we were all talking, as you know, social media has been totally flooded with talking about MS Dhoni. The world over, the world cricketers have been pouring their opinions, as we all know. But what I could not do, because the entire focus was on Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who retired. And also, as I said, I also mentioned that one more batsman, one of the very, very close persons with Mahendra Singh Dhoni, retired at the stroke. As soon as Mahendra Singh Dhoni decided to retire, immediately Suresh Raina also decided to hang up his boots. So let's have a look at Suresh Raina's figures. Now, we will have, and Suresh Raina, let me tell you, Suresh Raina is someone who was a big asset to Indian cricket. He was not, he was not really a sort of a player who was permanently a part of the Indian, but as far as one days were concerned, one days and T20s, one can never fault this person who made a valuable contribution to Indian cricket, no doubt about it. He made his debut in Sri Lanka, and let's have a look at his career stats now. The career statistics are coming, but let's talk about Suresh Raina. Suresh Raina was very close to Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and as I said, as soon as the news of Mahendra Singh Dhoni, getting it on Instagram, immediately Suresh Raina followed suit by saying that he has also decided to join Dhoni on his journey, and that definitely says, I mean, if you look at it, Mahendra Singh Dhoni retired at the age of 39, but Suresh Raina has retired at the age of 32. So definitely, I thought there was still a lot of cricket left in this bloke, Suresh Raina. Probably not in international colors, but probably you could still play locally. But anyway, let's have if you look at this, he was not typically a test player. He was a very good southpaw that India had. And at that time, India had the depth of left-handers. And being a southpaw, as I said, he made a good contribution to the bat. He was someone who could be trusted in a crisis to take India through. He has done that in the presence of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. As a batsman, he was good to watch. He had some power in his strokes, and also what he liked is he likes to dismiss the ball into the onside, like a Ross Taylor type of player, who is a left-hander, as we all know. Ross Taylor type of player, where he could actually dismiss the balls which are pitched on the off and middle stump into the onside. That was Suresh Raina. He was a good driver of the ball. And let's have a look at his complete statistics here to see what really Suresh Raina achieved. He played only 18 test matches. As I said, he was not a big fan of test matches. 18 test matches, he scored 768 runs. 120 was his top score, but he still scored a century and 750. So that goes to his credit. And also, his contribution with ball could never be dismissed. He was a real contributor with the ball as well. He had 13 wickets in test matches. Now let's have a look at his ODI. Now this is where the ODI and the T20 was Suresh Raina's cup of tea. ODI played 226 matches, 5,615 runs. He has retired with an average of 35.31, and he scored 5 centuries, and he had 36 50s in the star-studded career. And as far as bowling was concerned, he collected 36 wickets. His best bowling was 3 for 34. But the best thing that that Raina brought to the team was some electric fielding, which had the former South African, one of the greatest fielders that South Africa ever produced. His name, Jonty Rhodes, who's the fielding coach of the Mumbai Indians, as we all know. He actually praised Suresh Raina by putting him as the best fielder in the world. So, and that was a tribute coming in from one of the greatest fielders, Jonty Rhodes. So Suresh Raina was absolutely electrical on the field. I mean, he and Yuvraj Singh, when they were there, When I used to see, I know Yuvraj Singh was the one who was manned the point region, and I think Suresh Raina, basically, if I'm not wrong, he used to man the backward square leg region, or sometimes he used to be in the covers. So he was such an electric fielder that it was a treat to watch his fielding. Used to come up with some stunning catches, some stunning saves to take runs. And if you look at his T20 record, he was a complete a multi-dimensional player. 78 T20s, scored 1,605 runs in that period. He had 1 century and 550s, so that is a tribute. I mean, scoring a century in a T20, which Dhoni never did it, but Suresh Raina could do it. And he also collected 13 wickets. And as you know, he has a good record in the IPL as well. And he also scored a century on his ODI debut against the Sri Lankans. And he was also part of the World Cup. He was part of the Indian squad that won the 2011 World Cup. And he has always been a part of Chennai Super Kings in the Indian Premier League, as we all know. Now, well, dear fans, I know that I promised a lot yesterday, talking that I will be back on Twitter, but unfortunately, I could not get time to do so due to a lot of other chores that I need to do at home. So now let's get into some cricket. As you know, this cricket show basically I always talk about all the cricket events and some cricket news. So let's talk about the match. Now, I know this match is absolutely ending in a tame draw. We are going into day 5 with not even a single innings being completed thanks to the rain, which has pelted at Southampton. So yesterday we looked at the card, and today it was one of the a very interesting session that happened. Just 1 hour of morning play was possible, and that was it. And the score line was Pakistan were bowled out for 236, Broad taking 4 wickets. Rizwan Shah, I think his name is Rizwan Shah. I'm just trying to get it right here. Let's see, Mohammad Rizwan. Sorry, the wicketkeeper has done a good job behind the sticks so far. He was the highest contributor with 72 with 7 boundaries, and Pakistan were bowled out for 236, Broad getting 4 wickets, and England lost the wicket, but Rory Burns was caught by Asad Shafiq, a good catch taken by him on the bowling of Shaheen Shah Afridi for naught, which left Dom Sibley and Zachy Crawley, Dom Sibley with 2 and Zach Crawley with 5 at the crease, and that was it. The match never went ahead, and on the 4th day, the scoreline was England were 7 for 1 in reply, with nothing left in this match. I mean, we all know for a fact that the match is going to end in a tame draw, and England will continue to lead the series 1-0. So Michael Vaughan, well, he said that England is good to beat Pakistan 3-0, but unfortunately that is not going to happen. But I can understand Michael Vaughan's comments. Michael Vaughan basically was telling that if the whole match is going the distance, then that is the time that England would be swamping Pakistan 3-0. But that is not going to happen anymore with the final day coming up tomorrow. The other thing, as far as if you had read some comments about the former captain of Australia, Ian Chappell, and cricket commentator on Channel 9 before, Ian Chappell has said that a wicketkeeper should always be a wicketkeeper batsman, because wicket-keeping should be the priority and not batting as the priority. And I think I totally agree with Ian Chappell on that, because he has cited the example of Josh Butler behind the sticks, who has been pretty shoddy behind the stumps. And that's what he has come to mention. And I think that's the right way, because I think a wicket keeper, especially in test matches, should be a genuine wicket keeper first, and then he should be contributing with the bat. But essentially, we know that wicket keepers normally contribute. They come in as night watchmen. They can contribute. I mean, we have seen this history of wicket keepers. And also one statistics on a wicket keeper, which I could not talk about the wicket keeping skills of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. It just brings me to the fact that the highest score by a wicketkeeper batsman in one-day internationals is held by none other than Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who scored 183 runs against Sri Lanka. So let us understand that Mahendra Singh Dhoni, who has retired, has gone with a record absolutely intact, and that is a record where he scored 183 not out. To this day, nobody has, no wicket-keeper batsman in the world has touched that record, and one wishes that continues to remain for a long time. So let's talk about an Australian team which is be going to England, and we are going to look at that Australian squad that is actually going to make to England. So let's have a look at the squad. There are some new blokes in the team, and we'll have a look at it. Well, as you know, Aaron Finch will lead the side. Patrick Cummins, who has been doing his bowling in a very wonderful manner, as we all know, he has become a much improved bowler. And we all know he came as a real tearaway, but no longer is a tearaway. But he's being used in short bursts by the captain, and he's been doing a great job. So the Australian squad for the limited overs tour of England, which is going to be starting in the month of September, to my reckoning. I'm just going to check on that for you, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Yes, it starts in September. And we are talking about 220s, which are going to be played on September 4, 6, and 9. And then we have 3 ODIs coming up on September 11, 13, and 16. So let's have a look at the squad which has been selected. Aaron Finch is the captain. The new vice captain is Patrick Cummins. There is no place for Alex Carey on the. Sorry, Alex Carey is there, but he's not the vice captain. The captaincy has gone to vice captaincy has gone to Pat Cummins. David Warner, Maris Labuschagne, who would be very keenly watched, who is on absolute fire as far as batting is concerned. He made 2020 his own, as you would remember. Josh Phillip, now he's a very, very excited batsman, Josh Phillip, I am told. We'll talk about that later. Then they have Stephen Smith, the experienced bloke there, Matthew Wade, Alex Carey, Glenn Maxwell is back into business, Mitchell Marsh, Marcus Stoinis, Daniel Sams, another exciting prospect for Australia. Ashton Agar, the all-rounder. Nathan Lyon, one of the veteran off-spinners from the Aussies. Adam Zampa, another upcoming leg spinner. Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins, Sean Abbott, Josh Hazelwood, who was out of the international grade for quite a long time, so he's coming back into. And then they have a very, very promising pacer who really bowls at some very good pace. His name is Riley Meredith. And then have Kane Richardson, and they have Andrew Tye, who has got into the squad as well. So let's have a look at some new blokes who are entering into the team, because we all know about all the other persons. So what one is really wanting to know is who are the new persons who have made it to the squad. So just having a look at it, Josh Phillip is the batsman. Riley Meredith is a good pace bowler, and Daniel Sams. Now, Daniel Sams, a left-arm pace bowler, brings that variety into the mix. And these blokes have been doing great business for Australia in the domestic season. And wish them luck. Wish them absolute luck. Riley Meredith has always been in the news in Australian domestic cricket. Josh Phillip is another exciting find for Australia. He's a very good, exciting, aggressive player. Josh Phillip. I'll try to see whether I can really pour in some more information on these blokes, but I'm just trying to see time permitting. I think I'm running out of time right now, but I'm trying to see whether I can really cram in something from this. There's no Usman Khwaja does not find his place in the team, so that is that. Khwaja is not there. There is no place for DRC Shot in the team as well. And I'm just trying to see. Yeah, Josh Phillip and Riley Meredith are the most exciting players to emerge. Daniel Sams, as we know, he's a spinner and he has taken a lot of wickets. I mean, if you look at all the T20 leagues, I believe he has got the maximum wickets. He took 30 wickets, I reckon. Meredith is all about pace. Playing for Meredith, he plays for Hobart Hurricanes, I suppose. He was man of the match in the final as well. I'm not going to go into much. I think that's about it as far as today's cricket show goes. Hope you all enjoyed this broadcast of mine. I know that I'm not being able to come every week. I mean, my daily cricket show is unfortunately become like a sort of a weekly cricket show. But I mean, it's just that with office chores and home chores and everything, it becomes very difficult. But time permitting, or if any great event happens, then I definitely have to bump in, whatever be the time. But I think I've given you the best as far as today's broadcast is concerned. Keep watching cricket happenings. Keep yourself tuned on, especially on Saturday and Sunday, where I'll be able to cover the entire proceedings that happened during the week as far as the cricketing events are concerned. This being said, it's this host Ram really signing off, as I said, on a very sad note here with the Indian, an Indian cricketer by the name Chetan Chauhan passing away due to the pandemic COVID-19. And that's it for me. And see you probably, if time permitting, probably any of the weekdays, or it could be Saturday, Sunday. Until then, it's good night.